All right, a beautiful afternoon. Today is Tuesday, the 10th of February. February is actually running very fast. I don't know where it is running to anyway, but that's by the way. All right, so today I wanted to just share just a very brief information, and I think this is really important to uh, these categories of people. Let's say you are into yam processing business, or you are a yam supply agent. Yeah. Or let's even say you are someone who is into exportation of yam. These are the categories of people that they they deal with large volumes of yam. If you are into yam flour processing, you deal with a large volume of yam. If you are into yam exportation, of course, to export a reasonable quantity of yam, of course, you are dealing with a very high volume of yam. If you're also a yam supply agent that you help other people, let's say other wholesalers in various locations to source yam, you also need to have access to steady supply of yam, right? So what we are going to be looking at today are the various states that let's say top 10 states that actually produce yam in a reasonable quantity. That of course there are other states that produce yam, but not in the kind of commercial quantity that I want to be talking about, right? So the top 10 states that if you are into a very serious yam business, you need to know these places so that it can guarantee the reliability of supply, consistent supply. You want to be able to always get yam even when other people don't know where to get yam, right? Because your business requires steady, yeah, yam supply. So, well, based on the last data we have for 2025, of course, 2026 just began. So this information is based on the last data that was collected. Uh, Taraba State is actually on the number one. Yes, Taraba State produce roughly 3.2 million megatons of yam per annum. Yes, they have vast arable land, of which over 1.5 million hectares alone is dedicated to yam production, yam farming. So Taraba State produces a lot of yam, and their main yam market, that is where the yam hub is. Place basically, when you go to all these places, there are some small communities that still produce small yam. But when we are talking about that center where it is happening, where if you want to really buy yam in large volume, you go to those places. So we are talking about the Wukari. Yes, Wukari is one popular place in Taraba where they trade yam. If you go there, that is a yam hub in Taraba State. And then Danacha is another place where you can also get yam in Taraba State. I know many people will be saying, they think Benue State is the number one. Of course, Benue State is trying, but the these security challenges they had actually affected the volume of the yam production, and this thing was prevalent in the exact location that really houses the largest yam market in West Africa. So they had a lot of insecurity issues, and of course that scared a lot of farmers away from their businesses, and their yam production actually dropped a little bit. However, housing the largest yam market, of course, people still bring yam from neighboring communities there to sell and all of that. So, looking at the number two is Benue State. All right, so Benue State is number two on the list, and of course, produces almost 1.5 megatons of yam per annum. And of course, the their major yam market, major, when I say major, is their international yam market that even people from neighboring countries like Ghana, Cameroon, right, come to buy yam, is the popular Zakibam yam market in Ukum local government area of Benue State. Right, so Benue State is number two on the list, and their major yam market. They have other yam markets, of course. The Ubaya market, the Iboya market, the Wanone Yam Market, amongst many other locations in Benue State that you can get yam, right? But when you're talking about that place where it is happening, the main hub is Zakibiam, right? Now, number three is Cross River State. Yeah, Cross River State also has a very good soil that supports yam production because, yeah, just like many other agro commodities, they select environment, right? So the kind of soil that allows yam to really grow well, it has characteristics, a well drained, soil that is not waterlogged, and all of that. So Cross River, and the location in Cross River State where you get yam as a yam dealer is in Ogoja. Yeah, if you know Cross River State, you know that Ogoja is one popular place where their yam hub is actually located. So we have mentioned Taraba State, we have mentioned Benue State, we have mentioned Cross River State. Now another place is Adamawa. Yes, Adamawa is known for there is a yam called Mumuye. Mumuye species of yam. It's a very nice white yam, very, very fantastic yam, and Adamawa State is known for that. And their yam market is the Ganye Yam Market in Adamawa State. So if you are into yam business, you should really travel. Travel and visit all of these places. Get information, get contact, network, ask them questions, find out about things, how you'll be able to source yam successfully and move them to any location of your choice, right? So our number five on our list is Nasarawa State. Yes, Nasarawa State. Nasarawa is actually very close to Benue State. Yeah, very, very close. Just even the Wukari we are talking about in Taraba, basically Wukari and Zakibiam, they are just maybe 1 to 2 hours away from each other. They are not far. They are very, very close. In fact, when some people want to go to Wukari from Makudi here, they board vehicles going to Zakibiam. When they get to Zakibiam, then they just pick another vehicle to Wukari. So they are very close. Nasarawa is also close to Makodi here. They are not far from each other. So Nasarawa also produces yam in large volume, right? And their main yam hub is the Nasarawa Egon. And they're actually known for the paper yam. In fact, I have some customers in Abuja that is paper yam this I must buy for them. So we are waiting for that supply. So they have paper yam, very fantastic yam that is good. When you eat the yam, you will confirm. You understand? So I looked at Nasarawa State and I told you Nasarawa Egon is the location for their major yam market. So then we look at Niger State. Yeah, Niger State is also one state that is known for agriculture very well. They produce rice, they produce granules, they produce yam, amongst many other things. So there is also one state that if you're into serious yam business, you need to travel to that place, network with farmers, get contact, see what they do there, right? And their major yam market is in a Paikoro International Yam Market. Paikoro is their major yam market. So try and visit these places we are talking about. It will help you when people are saying we are off yam season. How do I get yam? Because you already know these places. It is easy for you. For someone who is into large scale yam business, you'll always have yam supply, right? So the next on our list is Kaduna State. Kaduna is also a hub of agriculture, especially popularly known for their ginger. Kaduna is known for the best ginger species in Nigeria, Kaduna State, and they also they are massively into grain production, right? Grain. Kaduna produces a lot of grains too. Now, but they also produce large volume of yam. They produce a lot of yam, and their major yam hub in Kaduna State is the Ida Market in Kagarako local government. That is where their major yam market is. So if you are into yam business, you should try and visit Kaduna State and visit the Ida market in Kagarako local government, network with farmers, get information, find out about logistics, and know how you can be able to successfully move yam from Kaduna State. Now we now talk about Enugu State. Yeah, Enugu is in the southeastern part of Nigeria, and their major yam market is in Obolafo. Yes, Obolafo. Obolafo is one of the markets where they trade yam in large volume. Now, one thing you need to understand is that when we mention yam market, it does not necessarily mean that the yam is produced in that particular place. Like I told you before, people can produce yam even in Benue State here and move it to maybe a place like Abuja. In fact, they do that a lot. If you go to Maraba market, you see a lot of people, they will move their yam from Benue State and go to Maraba in Maraba, close to Abuja, to go and sell. So it doesn't mean that the yam is produced in Abuja. So the whole point is that if you need to buy yam, places where if you go, regardless of where the yam was produced, that you'll be able to have yam in abundance, to either for your processing or for exportation or as a supply agent for your clients, your customers, right? So just anything, places that will assure you steady yam supply, steady yam access is what we are talking about. So when you go to Obolafo in Enugu State, it's located in Suka local government area. So they have a lot of yam there available for you who is into large scale yam business. Then the next on our list is a Plateau State. Yes, Plateau is also known for agriculture. Now, especially they produce a lot of vegetables, a lot of vegetables. Plateau is known for that. All the Irish potato kind of thing, your carrots, cabbage, and co. Plateau produce a lot of that, and they are not left out when it comes to yam. They also produce a lot of yam in that's a Gangere. Gangere is in Jos North local government area, and then there is where their main market for yam is actually located. So if you are into large scale yam business, you try and visit Plateau State, visit Jos North local government area, Gangere, and you'll be able to see their main yam hub, network with the farmers there, the major yam dealers there, get contacts, ask questions, find out about their logistics and how you can be able to move yam from that place, either to your customers or you are exporting or for your businesses, whichever one, right? And then the number 10, it doesn't mean that it is the least, right? Yeah, it's also trying and no factors can make these things vary. You understand? Like just the way insecurity kind of affected Benue State a little bit. It can happen anywhere, right? So these things, it doesn't mean that it remains constant that way. One can leave tomorrow. If they decide to increase what they do, they can become the top producers. Maybe they can just also house the largest market. You never can tell, right? So, but these are states you should pay attention to if you are into large scale yam business, right? So the number 10 is Oyo State. Yes, Oyo is in the southwestern region. Yes, and the Obada market in Irepo local government area is actually their major yam market. Like I told you, if you go to all these places, there are other small localities, other small markets, other small communities where you can get yam. But we are talking about the main yam hubs. These are the areas that you can find them within all of these states and these locations that we just mentioned now, right? So uh, there are also other locations that you can get yam, but like I told you, the top 10 is just what we looked at. So, and as a business person, just like every other business, what you don't want to do is to run out of stock. You understand? Uh, there are companies that before they can go into supply contract with you, they want to be sure that either you have the financial capacity to supply certain quantities or you have access. That means if we tell you to keep supplying us a truck of yam every day, do you know where to source this yam? Do you have access to places where you can buy this yam? That is what they look at. So this information is going to help you. If you are somebody, maybe you are looking at selling contracts, maybe you are even running your own processing factory. This information will help you. If you are a supply agent and you are looking at selling contracts with some of all these companies, they want to know that you know where we can buy yam, you know where you can always consistently get yam so that they don't run out of what? Raw materials for their production. If you're also exporting, your clients abroad, they want to be sure that you can guarantee steady supply of yam. So having all of this information is going to help you as a large scale yam producer. So thank you so much. I remain Okudili, and of course, we run FarmLink Global, a supply agency for agro commodities. Currently, largely into yam. We supply you yam, any quantity of yam you need. Tell us. We are going to help you source it. Maybe you want to export, we'll source it for you. You are processing, we source it for you. You are a large scale yam wholesaler, we'll source for you and supply it to you, sir. So until you see me again, remain blessed and enjoy the rest of the day. Right? Thank you so much.